welcome to a full moon surf report. This is a little bit early and a little bit different. We have some cautions, but there are some amazing insights in today's DreamBot and in the stars. We're going to start with the DreamBot, and we are in a different habitat, so audio is different. The video is going to be choppy because I'm on my little laptop, but let's roll with it. How do I zoom? The stars have to say about it. And what we have is a lot of squares. First of all, there's a lot of red lines around the sky. When is this happening is tonight, actually around this full moon, blood moon, super moon, wolf moon eclipse. And with the earth in between the moon and the sun, because they're so close to the north and south um, nodes, that in other words, the moon is going to be going over the ecliptic where the sun path is, and that's why this makes this work. So the moon's going to go into the shadow of the earth. Okay, and as that's as that's happening at about 11:15 p.m., that is Central Time, so it's actually tomorrow morning, early on the East Coast, and then over here where we are, 9 p.m. But look at all these other aspects that are happening, and we'll go through what all these meanings are more detail. But you have Neptune with a square to Venus, and then well, Jupiter's already done, but you might as well have, they're so close together, you might as well have a double square there. And then you've got a T-square with Uranus, Moon, and then these aren't exact. The exact square happens a couple hours earlier with the one to Uranus and the Moon, but they're close enough to where that influence is going to be there. T-square makes everything a little bit more disagreeable. The energy doesn't flow quite as nice. Might even have a little bit of arguments with other people. This is Uranus, so things are kind of changing, and there might be a lot of resistance to the change. It might be change that you don't want to see to begin with. Okay, and then the square from Neptune and Venus is feelings of insecurity, poor self-image, and not accepting of a major disappointment, that kind of thing. But that doesn't mean that we don't have any big available options and some life-changing moments here. This blood moon is an opportunity for some massive change, but it's up to you, and it's up to you because we have a lot of Capricorn energy. If we look at the sidereal, I'm going to do the sidereal now because when we go into the subsequent days, you're going to have different sidereal. The sun is actually in Capricorn sidereal, and the moon is in Cancer sidereal. And so what we have to honor both. And Capricorn is just plain old design your goals, get your objectives set, and start moving towards those goals. The moon is quite the opposite, but it's very nurturing. And so what we're doing is melding those two together And the answer is, in order to align with the stars today, January 20th, and even tomorrow if you want, but we're going to transition into some other energy. You want to outline your goals for the new you. Make sure they're measurable and you can achieve those. They're realistic but high. Set them high but realistic, and then go after them. Now realize that this initial energy is awful for doing anything. So I wouldn't. This is just a plan, okay? But you carry through this with when the T square goes away, which it will very shortly. Within probably the energy, probably within 24 hours, if that, and then certainly the Venus Jupiter will start to make another aspect that will replace this square. So the squares are going away, but you want to make sure that you have that plan in place, that you're nurturing it, and then you're pushing it forward in the subsequent weeks and months. Okay, so that plan will stick with you. All right, let's transition. This is a big transition to the 21st. Now this is Monday, and everything changes. You do have a square in there that's between Mars and Saturn, but and that is very early. That's the earliest one. So that one's going to have us feeling a little bit probably regretful. There's going to be a lot of shoulds in there, ideals that haven't been done, or you're going to feel very restless and needing to have changed the past, which is not going to be really helpful. So be aware of that. You might be getting ready for work and maybe regretting something from the weekend or something like that. But then shortly after, around 8 a.m., the moon's starting to make a couple trines. And the first one is with Mars. So Mars starts to get a little harmonized, and it's in fire. So there's going to be a lot of energy. And then the other trine is the, well, I'll just show you right here. There's a double trine with Venus and Sagittarius. And again, that's fire as well. But fire is harmonized. And guess what? We just built all these goals and objectives. So this is day one of the new you. So start in, take that first step. Don't take too big of a step. Just start in on those goals that you created yesterday or the day prior on the eclipse. Okay? And then notice where the bulk of our trine is. Jupiter and Sagittarius, Jupiter and Venus are in sidereal Ophiuchus. We get to talk about Ophiuchus. All right, we're going to go to the next day, but this day we're going to be treated just like Tuesday. And here's Tuesday, because the main deal happening on Tuesday is Venus and Jupiter conjunct, make an exact conjunction. And this is a very, very fortunate aspect, a very love, harmony, happiness, focus on relationship. You might get a financial offer, financial well-being, very lucky transit. Okay, and then you also have a trine between Uranus and the moon, and that's barely in the fire signs, but it's inconsequential to me. I don't really get into these when we're talking about tropical. I don't get too much into the exact transits when we're getting like in between the transits, in between the zodiac signs. All right, but look where this conjunction is happening. Ophiuchus. So let's talk about Ophiuchus for a little bit. We haven't talked about him yet, and he's a ancient constellation. They're calling him, in ancient lore, the very first doctor on the planet. And he's got all these snakes, and the snakes got some myth in there as well, where some snakes are healing other snakes, and he's holding them, and then he's starting to use them for healing. And he is very grounded, but it's not an earth sign. It's actually an ether sign. And ether is none of the others. This was what throws a lot of people off. And but it's the underlying energy that pervades everywhere. So, and this energy is healing. But energy is just energy. It's not good or bad. So you have to be aware of what kind of ether is around you. If you're wanting healing ether, then you need to be around healing energy. Let's see. And then Chiron is said to be the ruler, excuse me, the ruler of Ophiuchus. So we have Venus and Jupiter in Ophiuchus is very fortunate, and Ophiuchus is much more than just healing. He's trying new things. He hates routine. You're starting to get where I'm thinking. This is the perfect for the eclipse. You've set your goals. You had Monday with all this fire energy to go start them and get a taste of those goals. And now with Ophiuchus, and that's Monday and Tuesday, we are trying new things, and so those goals for your eclipse setup should be new. It's the new you. It's the new routine. Ophiuchus also is said to have a great sense of humor. He's passionate. He's very straightforward. He loves language and arts. Hates rules. It almost sounds like a little bit like, well, some other people. I was thinking Uranus in that case. Hates rules. Kind of rebellious, it sounds like. But so that's the good side of Ophiuchus. When you're aligning with Ophiuchus, but you need to minimize the bad sides or the downsides to Ophiuchus. So he could be a little bit boastful, impulsive. He could be prideful, too prideful. Like you could see yourself, feeling very positive about achieving your new goals from the eclipse, but don't get too prideful because they're not accomplished yet. These should be longer term objectives and goals. Don't be secretive. Don't be jealous. Don't have a very poisonous tongue. That's the biggest downside for Ophiuchus, is that snake tongue. Don't have a very poisonous tongue. And then, lastly, don't be a procrastinator. Get your goals done. Have your goals from the eclipse set up to where you see them every single day. Put them on a sticky. Put them on a dream board. Put them on your phone and put an alarm out there so it pops up periodically so that you see that. You see your goals. And the goals can be pictures too. Don't have to just be words. All right, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you don't mind the choppiness. And we'll do this again on Tuesday in our last little setup here in beautiful California, except for the allergies. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good day.